final session. So I welcome you all to this event and thank you for sparing out time and participating in the network events. So firstly, I would like to talk about the objectives of this final networking event which we are hosting here at T-Hub, Hyderabad. So after the three discussions in the three networking events, we expect to conclude all the important aspects of the identified use cases and prepare a high-level implementation plan and contribute to the living list which we will be circulating today. Also, we will be releasing an output document as the outcome of all the networking events for the final comments of all the participants. So in this two-day networking event, the schedule for day one, that is today, will be that we will be, after this opening plenary, we will be having breakout discussions on 5 sessions, that is on transport and mobility, healthcare, environment, aspirational blocks, and disaster management. So 4 use cases, that is transportation, healthcare, environment, and disaster management, have already been discussed in the preceding 3 networking events at Delhi, Bombay, and Bangalore. So this will be the 4th event in which we will be discussing these 4 sectors. And one more new sector has been introduced for this networking event, that is the session on aspirational blocks. So I will just be briefing you about all the discussions in the previous networking events on the 4 sectors and what we expect from the moderators for this particular session. So firstly, in the transportation use case, after the 3 networking event discussion, it was concluded that the use case which was chosen, on which discussion has to take place, is reducing traffic congestion of a city using digital twin, in which there were 2 sub-use cases which have been finalized. One is the intelligent traffic management and the second one is the multimodal transport optimization. So in the as the extension of the multimodal transport optimization, the use case which is going to be discussed in this networking event is the comprehensive mobility planning. So in multimodal planning, the discussion happened on how we can optimize the bus routes of a city. So comprehensive mobility planning will be an extension for that, because we will be discussing on how the different modes of public transport in a city can be comprehensively mapped and discussed. So, and in the intelligent traffic management, discussions happened across how operations of the traffic can be optimized with the help of the traffic commissioner, how routes can be optimized or the traffic lights can be optimized. So all these discussions took place. So this session we will be having discussion on comprehensive mobility planning. The moderators for the comprehensive mobility plan session will be professors from IIT Bombay along with a team from Reliance Jio, and we will also be having horizontal domain experts. The second use case is disaster management, on which the discussions have happened on how the rescue operations can be done using digital twins and cross-sectoral data, and also on flood management operations. So in rescue operations, what we envision that should be done is that when there is any kind of an incident like a fire or some other disaster in any building, so how the rescue operation has to be performed depending upon the availability of routes for exit of the people who are trapped, and how different people, rescuers, can map who all are present in that particular building using the telecom data. We will be knowing who is trapped, and that is how we will alert the fire team and the other people who are monitoring the situation. So this use case has been discussed in the previous networking events. So we expect that in this networking event, we will be having a comprehensive rescue plan which will be created for the disaster management use case. Then the third use case is on environment monitoring. So in environment till now, vehicular emission management has been discussed. That is all related to air pollution. That how we can manage the air pollution of a city by monitoring the different data which are available from sectors like some sensors, CCTV data, vehicle data, or telecom data, and then the CPCB data. So all these things have been discussed, and environment use case has almost been finalized by the moderators in the previous 3 sessions. So for this networking event, we plan to have a discussion on the water distribution networks use case. So I request the moderators to take this discussion forward and discuss on the water distribution networks for the Hyderabad event. In that there can be different use cases. For example, how we can monitor the water distribution network of a city for the quality of water or water leakages at different locations, and the effect of that water quality on the population. So in this, we need to focus on how cross-sectoral data can help. For example, along with the water distribution, there can be the telecom data which can help us know who is being affected by that water quality. Also, there is a very interesting use case of digital nudge using the water network. For example, in any public place, there can be or a railway station, there are many water taps in which there is written that this is drinking water. None of us use them because we are not sure about the water quality there. But in case the government installs some systems wherein the water quality is being shown that this water is pure, and there is evidence being given by the government that this is a pure water which can be used by us for drinking and is fit for drinking. And along with that, SMS is being floated to the people who are present in that location. Using the telecom data, we know that who is present at that particular location, and using the digital twin and other data allocated on the digital twin, we can give evidence that this water is good for drinking, so that people don't buy plastic bottles, and we can in turn reduce plastic pollution. So this is a kind of an interlinkage of how we can digitally nudge the people to use public water taps instead of buying plastic bottles. So this can be one use case which can be discussed for the water distribution networks. Then the fourth has been healthcare. So in healthcare, there have been various use cases which have been discussed in all the three networking events. So these are aggregated health digital twins have been discussed on how the digital twin of a person can be created, and using the history and using the electronic health record of the person, and how we can improve the health. The doctor can use that aggregated health digital twin of the person to diagnose and the diseases. Then there can be a health digital twin for elderly care. Then the discussions have been across the training of healthcare staff using simulated environments and digital twins. For example, last time Professor Aditya from PES University was showing that how they have trained some nurses for giving the syringe. Then there has been discussion on response improvement for mega events. For example, if there is a Kumbh Mela, and we have a digital twin of that particular Kumbh Mela, and we can collate that with the health digital twin and monitor the, health of the people who are available there. Then there has been discussion on hospital infrastructure management. This we can using the digital twin of a city, we can know that where exactly is the demand for the hospital, where the people are present who have got certain kind of diseases. So the placement of the hospitals can be decided using this, and also there can be a concept of emergency rooms. Like if there are like two to three hospitals which are there, and there is some kind of an epidemic, and there is a surplus of beds in one hospital, but deficit of beds in another. So the surplus can be shifted to the deficit if there is there is like information transfer. So these kinds of discussions have taken place for the healthcare sectors. So what we expect in this final networking event from the healthcare is that we need to come up with a comprehensive healthcare infrastructure using federated digital twin architecture. So that will be an umbrella kind of digital twin in which all these use cases will get fit. All these, it will compose of these small use cases and will give us a kind of an umbrella picture about this. So these are the 4 use cases which have already been discussed and we need to take them forward. Then the final 5th use case, which is the new vertical which we are introducing in this particular networking event, is on the aspirational block program. The aspirational block program was launched by Niti Aayog and was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister in January 2023. And it is an extension and it is based on the concept of aspirational districts. So, which was also taken up by Niti Aayog. So, Niti Aayog has also, shown keen interest on working on aspirational blocks using digital twins. So, that is how this use case has been introduced. There are around 500 blocks which have been identified by Niti Aayog as aspirational blocks. And these are those blocks or areas which are lagging various development parameters which need to be improved. So these parameters are basically 5 broad socio-economic themes, which are health and nutrition, education, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion and skill development, and infrastructure. So across these 5 socio-economic themes, there are around 49 key performance indicators which have been identified by Niti Aayog in the aspirational block program, which have to be improved. So there will be discussions across how these parameters can be improved using digital twins in the aspirational block program breakout. So this was all about the 5 breakout sectors which we have discussed. So these will be the moderators, co-moderators, horizontal domain experts and session chairs for the 5 sectors. So in the last events, we have had 3 discussions across horizontal domains also. Horizontal domains include the domains which are common to all the vertical domains. So there was discussion on data privacy, AI and governance, and virtual world creation. Right. So now we have in this networking event, we are merging the horizontal domains into the vertical domains so that there is a convergence that how verticals will use those horizontals for building their architecture. So that is a brief about the networking event this student networking event will take place. And now I would like to request Shri Rahul Pet, who is Maths T-Hub CEO. And firstly, I would also like to thank T-Hub for hosting this event for us here, and we are really grateful to you all for, providing this facility to us for hosting the Sangam networking event. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Rahul Pet will be giving a brief about the T-Hub, and that how T-Hub is functioning and how it can be helpful for Sangam. So, I request Shri Rahul Pet to please come up.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Kumar. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks to the Department of Telecom for this opportunity and for conducting this exercise. So I'm here just to give you a quick overview of who we are. I see just 20, 30 people. If I can know how many of you are first time in T-Hub? Okay, so many of you. So then it makes sense for me to make this presentation. But I guess like all of you have heard about T-Hub, right? Is there anyone first time hearing about T-Hub? Okay, that's also good. So T-Hub, as we say, is the startup incubator. We call ourselves the largest innovation hub across the world in terms of size and scale. The one which is larger than us is in France in terms of space. We are 6 lakh square feet space, and they are slightly couple of hundred square feet space bigger than us. But in terms of number of startups incubated with us, the innovation scale, the programs that we are running, the ecosystem that we are having, we are by default the largest in the world and obviously the largest in the country. As we speak, this is our new building. Like we just recently completed a couple of days back, 2 years in this premises. And I'll just quickly give you an overview of what T-Hub has achieved in last 8 years of its journey. So this talks about some numbers. So 2,000 plus startups are engaged with us. When I say startups are engaged with us, they are engaged in multiple model. One is that within this premises or this building, there are more than 600 startups who are incubated and who are physically present. Apart from that, there are hundreds of startups who are part of our programs. Programs are divided into multiple stages, like early stage when the startup or innovator comes with an idea, and then he wants to get into the MVP stage. Post that, he wants to go to the market, and after that, it's like scale and growth stages. So for every stage of the startup's journey, we have different programs, and also we have programs which are focused on sector-specific approaches like health tech, aerospace, and water tech, EV, and then obviously AI. And apart from that, we are very proud to say that we have helped startups raise more than $1.94 billion in last 8 years time period. We have 20 plus institutional investors. Apart from that, we have multiple angel investors who are there in our network and help our startups to raise fund. We have 200 plus mentors spread across the spectrum. So there are a lot who are business mentors, and we have tech mentors, and they come with different capabilities and different expertise. We have value partners, which is 100 plus. Value partners are the backbone of any start journey. What a value partner does is that if you come with an idea, you want to establish a company, you want to start a company, first you need a lawyer who can help you register your company. So that comes under value partner. So then you need an accountant to manage your books. Then you need someone to patent your technology. And like that, every other services that you need to build a business at different stages and different levels, these service providers, vendors, whatever we normally call in our language, all comprise our value partner ecosystem. So this ecosystem helps our startups to build their business, build their company, and go to the market. Apart from that, we have 300 plus international connections. When we say international connections, it is the incubators. So we are connected with a couple of incubators in the US, in the UK, Australia, and several other countries. Apart from that, we are tied up with international universities, which are working with us closely for supporting us in terms of knowledge and giving mentorship to our startups. And also, we are collaborated with us, or we have collaborated with us in different incubation and innovation programs with these universities. Apart from that, we have 110 plus corporate engagements. Now these corporates are the ones which actually helps our startups to get the market access. What these corporates do is they come with their problem statements, and in turn they give this opportunity to our startups to do a pilot, and which can result into a business. So many of our startups get this market access or the business opportunity through us, through this ecosystem of 110 plus corporates who are engaged with us. Apart from that, we have 90 plus innovation partnerships, and these innovation partnerships are mixed with corporates, universities, government bodies, and different institutes. And these are different innovation programs that we are running under our umbrella. And these programs are something which are focused on certain problem statements or certain focus areas on which the startups work or the innovators work, and they come out with a meaningful or business solution that is required by the program. These are some of the startups that we are having, like Darwin Box, Skyroot, Marut, MyGate, TurboHire, which has come out of our campus or our ecosystem. Now moving to math. So math is a new center of excellence that we started just 9 months back, and it is completely funded by DST. DST is Department of Science and Technology, along with Government of Telangana and T-Hub. We came into existence. So I lead math, and math's full form is Machine Learning Artificial Intelligence Technology Hub. Math is a COE for AI/ML. We do everything that T-Hub does, but with a clear focus on AI/ML. So as we speak, all the startups that we are having, we are industry agnostic. So our startups are across the sector, but only thing that is tying them up is the AI factor. So all the startups that we have in our ecosystem, they have either they are building AI or they are using AI for solving any of the business case. Now I'm just giving you an overall landscape of AI in the global market. So as you can see how the global trends are growing, and in India, if you have to talk particularly, there are total 6,200 AI-enabled companies in India. As per the latest reports, around 500 plus are in Hyderabad and 110 plus within T-Hub premises. So that says like we have almost like a decent percentage of the startups who are working with us. Now, these are physically present with us, but if we talk about ecosystem, we have 962 startups who across India who are associated with us. So almost 1/6 of the startup across India are associated with us. So out of every 6 startup in India, 1 startup is definitely associated with us or getting benefited from us. Now this is the whole landscape, and the good part or the good picture here is that back in 1990 when the IT revolution came, or when India got into that bandwagon of IT services and everything, we were probably like 10-20 years behind US and other countries. But in AI has given us that opportunity where we are at a level playing ground. We might be a couple of years behind the advanced nations, but we are not that far behind. So if you talk about the top 10 nations across the world which are working in AI, which are building AI solutions, India is one of them. And India ranks in that in terms of number 7. And countries ahead of us are US, Israel, UK, France, and Canada and China. So after that, India is there, and with Prime Minister's mission, AI mission, and also our local state government's mission and focus on AI, we are confident and we are working towards make India the AI capital for the world. Now, on the right hand side, these are the top trends in AI, which are right now mostly leading, which is like open source AI, multi-model, quantum computing, SLMs, which is the small language models, and then you have NLPs, Gen AI, and RAGs. So these are the top trends that we have identified across the world, which are leading the journey, and the global AI sector on which most of the startups are working, and this is a global data that I am talking about. So almost 25% of the startups are working in enterprise AI, that is enterprise level solutions, 20% in health. So across sectors, health is the leading sector. Then we have 18% in social, and social comprises of your edtech, water, all the such factors. Compute is 12%, which is the quantum compute and the cloud compute and physical compute and those kind of startups or innovations. And 15% are in data services and 10% in edtech. In terms of math, if I have to give you a quick overview of math startups, so most of the math startups you can see are in MVP or growth stage. MVP is that minimal viable product, at least the basic product is ready, or they are in the growth stage where they have built product and they are out in the market and growing their customer base. In terms of funding, almost 87% of our startups are bootstrapped at this point of time because we are new. Our startups have also started very recently. So almost 87% of them are at a bootstrap level, but almost like 13% have raised some money, and we are hopeful in next 6 months this number will change completely because we are seeing huge traction from the investor network and fraternity for investment within the AI ecosystem. In terms of the sector-wise breakup, you can see 21% of our startup are in deep tech and 27% in enterprise tech. These are leading the batch, and along with that we have equal or a decent contribution towards HR tech, marketing, manufacturing, consulting, health and real estate. Again, technology-wise, the startups and the technology that we are working and through which we are very confident that our startups and our ecosystem will be able to contribute to this program called Sangam, and the problem statements that are highlighted here. Technology-wise, we means our startups have the capabilities in terms of audio processing, cognitive computing, GAN, NLP, LLMs, SLMs, and obviously AI consult and computer vision. AI hardware is also one area which is very closer to me, and we are seeing like a lot of startups working on those things. We have startups working on neuromorphic chips. We have startups working on optimizing the hardware usage, the power consumptions for compute. So this gives the overall landscape of the startups that we are having. Moving on to next, what math offers. So you can see here the problems, startup concerns that we are having. And when we built math, we curated our offerings accordingly. So as we speak, in the same building, in the basement, we have a data center in which we have the GPUs available, and also we have a lot of cloud partners through which we are extending the GPU access to the startups. GPUs are something, if people are not aware what a GPU is, like it's something required by the startups who are building AI solutions to augment their compute capabilities. And CPUs are mostly for simple calculations that we do, and simple exercises. GPUs are for more complex and where you have more variables for those kind of scenarios. So for anyone who is building serious AI solution, GPUs are required, and we have procured that. And for that, we thank Government of India and DST for funding those GPUs for us. And also we have collaborated with a lot of private bodies to build that capability. So once you have some time, you can feel free to visit on the center and have a look at it. Then we have something called Data Lake. We proudly claim that we have the largest database across the country in terms of what is required by anyone who is building AI capabilities. Anyone who is building an AI solution, you need a lot of data to train your algorithm. And that's where we provide that support of providing the data access to the startups. Then we have something on the right hand side like co-working space. Obviously there's physical space here. Market access. Market access is connect with the global partners or the corporates to get the business, help our startups to launch their services and products in the global market. In last 6 months itself, we have helped 7 startups to launch their businesses, and also we helped access to get their services launched in UK, US, Scandinavia, and those countries outside India. Apart from that, we have other stakeholders like value partners and other people. Then we have mentors, which forms the backbone of this entire journey, because the startups need a lot of mentorship and support. We have a pool of 100 plus strong AI focused mentors and within our ecosystem who is helping the startups in their journey. Along with that, we have something like when we are talking about AI, the major roadblock today are 3. One is compute, so for which we have the data center. Second is the data access, for which we have data bank. And third is the skill gap. So for which we have a learning management system called NAME, Nurturing AI Minds. And through that, we are extending courses and trainings for people to learn the latest AI skills. Also, we have something called AI Career Finder, which is focused on AI jobs. So that's the job portal dedicated for AI jobs, on which we encourage our ecosystem partners or ecosystem stakeholders to upload their resumes and apply for jobs. And all the jobs posted there are by our ecosystem partners or startups working with us, and also corporates. So we are trying to make that marriage happen between the job seekers and the employers within the AI ecosystem. So this is, in a nutshell, is what Math is providing. And as I have mentioned to you already, we have like more than close to 100 startups within this building and 900 plus startups within our ecosystem. So that makes us also one of the largest AI ecosystem or AI incubator in the country. And I have been to many AI COEs across the world, be it in UK, Israel and those places, but I've never seen somewhere where you can get close to 100 startups working on AI under a single roof. So this is the landscape of our startups. We have a decent number of startups in deep tech, ed tech. So these are all the startup logos that you can see who are working with us. And these are the clients that our startups are serving. So these are the corporates that our startups have already secured as clientele. So you can see there is a decent distribution among FMCG to automobile, and that also like brands like Yamaha, TVS, Mercedes, and then also healthcare clients like J&J, and government clients like NRSC and those things. So there's a mix of clientele that our startups have acquired in last 1 year or less than 1 year precisely. And that's the journey of math. That's what we are offering. And we are very hopeful that with this initiative of Sangam with Department of Telecom, we and our ecosystem partners will be able to contribute greatly, and will be able to come up with required solutions, which is expected by the stakeholders within government and outside government. So I welcome you all to T-Hub. I welcome you all to Math, and I hope that the next 2 days are going to be extremely fulfilling for all of us, and we will have a good takeaway after this event. And thanks to DO team for organizing this. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, Sri Rahul, for your overview about maths. And as maths and T-Hub are the innovation hubs and have got a lot of potential in terms of network and startups and compute facilities. So we look forward to a collaboration with T-Hub in the future. Thank you so much. So next on, we would move forward to the National Core Fabric panel discussion. This is a takeaway from the last events we had, that there should be a discussion on the architecture, overall architecture which we envision for the future of the Sangam initiative, which is the National Core Fabric. So that is why this session has been planned. So for this, I would like to request Sri Asit Kadyan, DDG from Department of Telecom, as the moderator for this session. So I request sir, please come up on the stage. Further, I would like to request the participants, Sri Rajat Mathur from BCG, then Ms. Manju Pandey from Oracle, Sri Dhirendra Singh from Airshed, and Professor Amreek Sen from Plaksha University. Please come up on the stage for the panel discussion. Stage mic.
So thank you, Kumud. By the time wireless mic is available and presentation slide is available, we can start discussion. So today we have a panelists from BCG, Manju from Oracle, and Dhirendra from Airshed, and Amrik from Clark University. This digital twin journey, why it is important, means number of use cases what Kumud presented in the previous session and we debated in last 4 networking events. Most of those problems are being handled and people are trying to solve those problems. Those are important and many people are trying to solve them. But these are the harder problems. And to solve the hard problems, it is important to stay the problem. without staying, and you cannot solve them. Otherwise, these problems would have been solved by somebody. And Sangam is, we find that it is important because people have come together and they have stayed together and they are working together. The last networking events have showcased that people are aggressively engaged in coming up with some solutions which will solve these problems. And these problems are not specific to any sector. These are for various sectors. But whatever you discuss, some domain experts are there. So as a Sangam, we are not the domain experts for every sector. We may be knowing more about telecom and computation, but we may not be knowing about health and other things. But we can help them. And why we can help them in a better decision making? Because communication networks and advanced communication networks provides you better observability and better measurability of the KPIs. So you can observe things in a better and a nuanced manner, and you can measure them, and you can quickly determine that what is good decision which we should take or we should intervene. So decision making means communication and computational technologies will be helping in a better decision making, and that's why we are here. And digital twin provides you the right context, means you have a deeper understanding. It is not about the data. So people talk about the data. Now we have to take it to the next level, and we should understand that what is the situation. We should be aware about the situation. And challenges are mapped in a digital world, and the capabilities to solve those challenges are also mapped to that digital twin. So we are having challenges and we are having a power to solve those problems. That's why digital twin, we are talking about the digital twin, and we are moving and we are elevating the level of discussions for solving these challenges. So in today's panel, we have experts from various areas, and we will be discussing about the federated digital twin, and in that federation, how the autonomy can be given to the individual sectors and the individual organizations, but the national core fabric can provide you a orchestration layer, can provide you minimal set of utilities, tools, pre-trained AI models, data models, engagement frameworks, which can be quickly used by the sectoral digital twins or the organizational digital twins as far as planning is concerned. And when we are talking of a federated digital twin, usually we encounter with the one problem that is of interoperability, and how the knowledge graphs or the abstractions at an individual sector level can help you to solve that issue as far as planning is concerned. And we have a comprehensive picture, big picture for the planning perspective, and use the cross-sectoral knowledge. I will not say cross-sectoral data because we are not collecting data. We are more inclined to extract the intelligence and use that intelligence to plan infrastructure and design. So to start with, I will request Manju from Oracle to present a slide, and then we can have a discussion one by one from the panelists. So just Manju, can you? Yes, slide.
Slide. You have several slide. Yeah, I'll start. Yeah. So thank you so much to DOT for giving us this opportunity, and we are fully engaged in the last month or so, and participating in all the events there, and trying to capture the information around trying to capture all the information around the different use cases as well there, and then trying to build an overarching architecture which will cater to the different aspect of the architecture, because the very basic premise of the architecture is that data is not moving in this architecture, right? So the different data providers which we have identified across different use cases there, one of the very basic requirement is that data is not moving there. The second key aspect is that is more from a privacy perspective, because a lot of the data which is getting generated by the data providers, privacy is a big concern there. So how to address that aspect as well there. So if you look into the left hand side of the architecture there, where we are talking about the two different types of data providers there. One is the data which is highly sensitive, and PI data is there, right? There we are trying to put that privacy enhancement technology like differential privacy federated learning. So what happens in differential privacy federated learning is that data is not moving, the model is moving, the machine learning model is moving closer to data, and it's getting trained, and all the updates which are coming from the different federated data providers, that is getting aggregated there. So by doing that, we are ensuring that privacy is well protected there. On the top of that, we are putting differential privacy so that noise is getting ejected when the model updates are being sent to the federated server. So by doing that, we are further ensuring that when the updates are not getting leaked there. Okay, so that is what from a data providers who has got the concerns from a PI perspective, we are trying to safeguard from a architecture perspective there. The bottom part is where the non-PI data is there. Again, there we are not talking about moving the data. It is more of moving the insight of the data there, right? Once the two classes of data which is coming there at the federated server, one is the model aggregation, and the second is the insight, right? What to do next on that? Then we are trying to aggregate the insight plus the aggregated model, and then we are creating a ontology, theme-based ontology on the top of that. So all the use cases which has been identified, transport, disaster, environment, right? We are creating, one is the sectoral ontology, and one is going to be the aggregated ontology there, where all the definitions of the different data is being covered as part of the ontology there, right? And once the ontology is getting created, we are creating the knowledge graph. The knowledge graph is why, and the very basic premise of knowledge graph is that any query which is going to come from the user or the consumer there, the knowledge graph is highly configurable, and it is designed in such a way that the query can be addressed in milliseconds, right? So that's sort of the architecture we are talking about, where the cross-sectoral information is coming at one place, and as sir has identified that the national code, we are talking about cross-sectoral amalgamation of the data there, right? So the knowledge graph will be catering, right? Like if the transport is a use case, right? Transport needs the data from the environment. Transport needs the data from the other use cases as well there. That is well getting covered as part of the knowledge graph, because knowledge graph will be taking care of the sectoral amalgamation of the data. Yeah, right. And the bottom part is the platform capability, what we are talking about, where all like we are talking about the orchestration part, we are talking about the API integration, because multiple entities will be coming into picture for the integration as well there. We are also covering the security of the entire architecture, how highly secure the architecture will be there.
Thank you, Manju. And I think this slide or this architecture has been developed after discussions, several discussions, and these are not the copyrights as such. So slide is indicating that it is a copyright. Just I want a clarification that it is for a general discussion of this Sangam group. Am I correct? Yeah. So this slide is only for discussion. You can suggest changes, any suggestions, because we want to finalize this high level architecture by today evening, and we want to include this as a part of the outcome release document. So everybody is invited to suggest that what changes are there, but panelists will be giving their comments. So before I seek comments from the panelists, I will make just 3 or 4 comments. Architecture should address the concerns of the privacy, and I think PII was mentioned from that perspective. Second concern is related to the commercial sensitivity of the data. I am not sure whether how it takes care of that. And third thing is that how the incentivations will be taken care of, that incentives are aligned. These are the 3 things. Then we move to a scalability of the platform and giving autonomy to the individuals, individual sectors and the organizations, and how the operational digital twins will be loosely coupled with the planning digital twins. So architecture should address all these aspects. At a prima facie, I think it has excellent architecture, and it may address our concerns and can give opportunity to provide a better solution. Now I will seek comments from the panelists. So first I will request Rajat to comment on this and give some suggestions.
So, hello everyone. Over the last over the last 3 networking events, I think we have iterated multiple times this architecture, and as Asad sir also mentioned, in the right context of at least the use cases that we are talking about across the 4 of now the 5 verticals that we have been there. See, I think good part about this architecture is that based on those use cases, it's fairly modular, and above all, what is theme which is emerging out is that there is a national fabric, but for each and every vertical or each and every industry, there would be a certain, I would say, a sectoral twin or a sectoral architecture also supporting that. That ensures few things about not just the privacy, but also of a degree of collaboration that happens between the national and, let's say, the sector there. Now I'm using sector here, but not limiting only to sector. It can be, let's say, a national twin and can be a state twin on that. So this architecture enables this kind of a collaboration, sharing data in a more secure, more, I would say, if I can use this word, in a more comfortable way that give comfort to the people there. Above all, as Asar also mentioned, I think in Mumbai event, we debated and discussed what can be the potential monetization and approvals or incentivization approach would be, which means that it was as simple as we were talking to the telecom operators, and they mentioned that, okay, do I have a right to reject if there is an API call coming to me to take an OD matrix? And the answer is yes. If you're not comfortable, if you're not ready to willing to participate in that use case or that initiative or sub use case, you can actually walk away as part of contract or even reject it online, saying that you won't be able to get the OD matrix there. And you have an option there and then that, okay, you won't be able to get the OD matrix data, but I can give you the OD federated learning, so that any commercial use or any commercial information which can be triangulated would also be subsiding there. So overall, I think with the collective wisdom of multiple people, I think we are able to achieve a very robust, modular, scalable, interoperable, as well as, I would say, commercially viable architecture or solution, which we are able to achieve through this. I think I would conclude just by saying that we need to implement it. While implementing, there would be multiple learnings as we move forward there. So let's not assume that this is casted in stone, but as we start our proof of concepts pilots, we really learn something new and different and need to adapt accordingly.
Thank you, Rajat. I think this architecture is flexible and expandable, and that is the first and foremost requirement. Next, I will seek comment from Dhiranji from Airshed, and as Airshed is working on a use case of air pollution, and in the case of air pollution, the causality is one of the important aspect. And when you want to discover the causality, you need to take data from diverse sources, and that should be granular with a higher resolution, and it should be in real time. Then only you can understand the effects. And for this purpose, it is difficult to get the data at a central location. But if there are digital twins, which are the interconnected digital twin, for example, transport sector digital twin is there, and an air pollution digital twin is there, and whatever you want to gain the insights related to the transportation, that is available as a federated digital twin, probably it may be easier for you and to solve that problem. So how do you see this federated digital twin architecture from the perspective of use case of air pollution? Yeah.
So hi, good morning everyone. So as an air, we are working in the air quality for last 15 years. And I see this architecture and I'm happy and I have learned a lot, because once you are into your own domain, many things you are not aware of. So first of all, with the last 3 networking events, I have learned a lot about data and the granularity in the classification of data, privacy and all those stuff. So I'm thankful for that. And the best part to me, it's a common architecture for all the use cases. So if you want any information, say my use case is linked with transport. So whatever information I need, I can, go back to that digital twin, interact with them, and then I can, don't waste my time if they are doing the same thing. One thing. Another thing is like using those insights as an air quality in the use case of air quality, because it's an n dimension problem, so there must be n variables. So with this kind of architecture, we can cover maximum, parameters, and that would give us the fruitful result. So one example you have seen, our 132 cities are in non-attainment region. So all in those cities, there are different studies by reputed institutions are going on, and one key aspect is the transport sector. So vehicle emission contributing somewhat around 25 to 40% in different cities if I take the ranges. And if we can somehow reduce maybe 50% of it, then this would be a big achievement, which I'm seeing. My always wish list as an air quality was the movement data, speed of the data, and the location. So that is what I'm getting. I'm pretty much excited about it, that if this wish list would come true, I would be able to achieve what is required for clean air quality. So that is my.
Thank you very much for the comments. Now I will seek comments from Amrik. And usually when we talk about use cases and talk about the architecture, on the input side we start from data and do some AI model, and then we think about rendering of what is provided by the AI model, data model. So upper layers are only considered just to render what AI is telling. But if you see that story doesn't end there, the stakeholders need to interact within a natural way, and they need to interact in a collaborative way. And for the interaction, they need some virtual world interface through which they can interact. And when they are manipulating the objects or considering various scenarios, the AI model beneath these layers need to react and respond and give some answers. So manipulations are being done at the upper layer, and then changes you can see and observe. From that perspective, whether it suits or something more is to be added in this architecture, and how the gaming engines can help, and whether this architecture requires to take something from the gaming engine architecture or some elements or game mechanics to provide more capabilities in the hands of the stakeholders, and also provide some capability to empower the citizen that they can also contribute in this ecosystem for some better solution. So with that, I will seek comments from Amri.
Good morning, everyone. I think it's fantastic that such a early stage we already have a very broad architecture and plan laid out. So congratulations to everyone, I suppose. I want to respond to your question, but also the comment that you made earlier, both of you, comment on autonomy and comment on opportunities for monetizing, right? I think both are important, and I already see in this broad layout few opportunities to make the Sangam Digital Twin platform sustainable from both those perspectives. Let me give you an example. So we have end users there. So there's a monetization opportunity over there. The final end user who's using the platform to make educated decisions, be it healthcare or environment or transport. Then we have the platform itself, which can be transformed into a opportunity, a business opportunity, a monetizing opportunity by laying it out for third-party developers to use the platform. I think the platform at this stage, I think provides that flexibility, and when we develop that further, I think that opportunity should be built in. And of course, at the data level as well, this is already mentioned here, data monetization. So I think these three things, we should be cognizant as we move forward with this particular architecture. In terms of the gaming engine per se, I mean, at this stage it's pretty broad. I think we should have, a mechanism where we allow stakeholders of different maturity and different technical competence to be able to make this functional. I don't know. I mean, at the API layer, perhaps we can think of it. Do you want to comment on that? How we could use that?
Yeah, I think the architecture definitely gives a placeholder for a robust API integration there, and all the capability of the architecture will be exposed by the APIs. So the gaming applications can directly integrate with those APIs there, and we would definitely like to have a loop back as well there, that any input coming from the gaming app as well, and which we would like to put as a part of the national fabric, some intelligence coming from there as well. So that will be looped back to the architecture as a non-PI data. We can bring that back into the architecture. So the API will be, robust API will be the part of the platform there to do all the integrations. Yeah.
One last point on the analytics side, I think that's where the AI development can be made more sustainable, and there's opportunity there as well. Yeah. So four placeholders where I see this tremendous opportunity to make it sustainable.
Can we keep some pre-trained AI models or engagement frameworks?
In a federated manner.
In a federated manner, and sectoral or organizational twins can take advantage of it, can leverage that capability. So we have a limited time, so before concluding this, I will see from audience that if you have a question in your mind, then you can ask question, and when you are asking question, please introduce yourself and from whom you want to ask question this year. Please.
Good morning everyone. Myself Madhava Nallapneni. I am an AML expert. I would like to know how you would accommodate the computing power required for training the AI models. Even pre-trained models have to be trained, and for visualization to render a scale of a city, it requires lots of computing power. So are you accommodating GPU on the platform or cloud infrastructure? Also, do you have any kind of infrastructure for training AI models?
So in the previous presentation, which was delivered by CEO Math, and startup concerns were listed, and one of the top concerns was the compute power. So yes, we need some experimental setup which offers the computational power to the Sangam participants to do some experimentation. So just you can help us in identifying the requirements of the experimental setup, what is the compute power required, the size and the feature wise and the capability wise. So we can capture that as a part of the outcome of this document, if you can help in determining that, and if somebody else wants to respond to that.
I'll just take 30 seconds. See, development environment would be different, and of course, as you rightly said, for pre-train also you require a compute, and even for if let's say you have an ensemblement of let's say a couple of iteration model, then also you require some degree of compute. I would say again go down to the basics that it would again be use case specific. We just cannot have a blanket statement ki, let's have so many GBs or so many cores and so on and so forth to create this model. So that is why that rigor of really penning it down, that for this particular use case, this is the amount of data that we are looking for. This is what a compute we are looking for. This is a longitude we are looking for. This is a maintenance frequency we are looking for. So those kind of nitty-gritties needs to be thought through before we can come down to that. Okay, that's a rough ballpark estimate for the compute, and then source it accordingly.
Yeah.
Just I will request Manju, as a Oracle cloud service provider, what you can offer to the Sangam participant.
So I think Oracle, we are aggressively participating and super excited about this program, and we will be definitely, one of the expectation is here that today and tomorrow we do the sizing as Rajat has stated there, that what exactly your specific requirement is there. And once we are clear about the requirement pertaining to every use cases there, I think we will be definitely working with sir, and we'll see that what best we can provision for you guys. Yeah. So DPU should not be a challenge because Oracle has is already participated with NVIDIA, and lot of other workloads are already working on Oracle Cloud, like now OpenAI is also training their model on Oracle Cloud. So GPU should not be a challenge here.
Hello, I am Dr. Ramesh Babubattula, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Alavia National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. So in this architecture, I found very good architecture, as well as how data heterogeneity in the future we can address in this. Especially the verticals are very different, and especially you were talking about the differential privacy, but we could address multi-party computation also in this. That would not be taken in the part of this one. Will it be a part or not? And how we need to address the data heterogeneity issues and trust issues of the data? Which
No,
were
it's a very valid question there. We have the multi-party computation is definitely going to be part of it, because it's a varied data set we are talking about, right? So when we are going to merge the data there, all data cannot be merged in a differential privacy federated learning there. So there will be other privacy technologies also will be coming as part of it. So as we get into more deep dive of the architecture and we see that what are the different data sets there, whether we can merge together without making any compromise on performance of the aggregated model there, and we'll be bringing other technologies to augment it.
I think whenever we make a presentation, we take care of the startups and we take care of the solution side, but we forget customers or the citizens, because usually they are not part of the discussions. And it is important question, and privacy enhancing technology is a core of the Sangam initiative. We started with this PET technologies, and they are the core part of this. So we are not only solving the problem of data, we are solving the problem that it is data, what we are using is addressing the concerns of the privacy, concerns of the sensitivity of the commercial sensitivity. This is the core, this is at the core of the Sangam.
Hi, my name is Archak Mittal, faculty of Civil Engineering Department, IIT Bombay. Actually, my question is related to the previous question. For the data acquisition part, when the data is coming, so I see that it's coming from provider 1, 2, 3, which might be more structured, or the format. So are you also considering crowdsourced data or the non-structured data, which may not have been realized at the beginning or at the initiative of any kind of application? So how to handle that, or how to make it agnostic of the data that is going to be coming, or it might be something futuristic data which is not realized yet. How to be agile in that aspect?
So maybe I can take up. See, what I understand is that are we open to explore additional data sources beyond what is coming out? So, sorry I'm sounding like a broken record again, but again, if there is a problem statement that we have picked up for any our ministries, government, customer, any, if that require additional data, then yes, we should be working to find a way to source that data, be it from crowdsourcing, be it from citizens feedback, be it from a ministry, be it in any shape and form. So the answer, short answer to your question is yes, pretty much open to seek that data in the right structure, contractual manner. There would be challenges, data sourcing, getting the data from a, let's say if you're working for party A and seeking a data from party X won't be an easy job. So you really need to create that kind of thing. Asit sir also mentioned rightly that incentive structure, what's in it for party X to contribute between Sangam and party A. So those kind of mechanisms needs to be thought through, designed, implemented in a secure architectural manner. Then only party X will come to this architecture as a provider and participate there. Again, it's a slightly generic thing because the question is also on a generic thing, we get that, but very content specific or use specific, it can be thought through.
Means we have discussed this several times, and if we can address the concerns and provide opportunity, so data providers will come forward and they will not be pushed through regulation or some compliances. They will be willingly participating in this ecosystem. So when people are willingly participating because they are getting the opportunity and at the same time concerns are addressed. So we think that there will be a good vibrant ecosystem when people, means we will get a lot of data and we can scale the systems to assimilate this data and extract the intelligence out of it. But we are also discussing that when data is collected from diverse sources and these sources may be trusted or untrusted, how the governance framework should emerge to take care of this. So that is also part of discussion of one of the session, and we are actively considering that.
Actually, we covered this in Mumbai session in depth, and that it would be a Delhi and Mumbai, that it would be potential data marketplace. Sangam is a platform, left hand side you have the providers, be it data provider, twin providers, governed in the right manner. And of course, your right hand side, there are potential customers for Sangam. So just like, I think Kumud showed a slide in which we said that the value prop for the customer, you need to create a value prop both for your data providers, as sir mentioned, give them the assurance through your architecture that yes, from a regulatory perspective, security perspective, everything will be taken care of. Of course, you need a value prop for your customer as well. Then only this Sangam will happen.
No, I just wanted to seek your reflection. In that case, would it make sense to somehow reflect it over here, the data marketplace in the architecture? So that,
yeah, I think we can incorporate that. Yeah, we can very well incorporate it. I was building an architecture for the marketplace as well there. So maybe during the day we'll be discussing and refine that. And we can add it there. Yeah. That's a good point.
So means when we are giving some title or giving some box, one of the principle of Sangam is that don't ask for data. Ask questions. Because knowledge, it should be a knowledge pipe. So data should remain with the data custodian. So what should be, means there should be some marketplace, whether that is a data marketplace or a data product marketplace or knowledge marketplace. So we can, that should be it.
And more of a comment that make it so attractive or useful that me as an individual user is also willing to participate, maybe sharing my mobile data or something. So if we can make it something that attractive and that secured, in my opinion.
That's a right proposition.
Yeah, incentivization and encouraging people to contribute to this entire ecosystem. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Point.
Hi, I'm Anuradha from IIIT Hyderabad. We are working on the Smart City Living Lab. So as a software level, I see that a lot of components are covered, but one thing, like when we're trying to implement, there is a hardware part involved. How are we planning the IoT platform? So that should be also a part of the digital twin platform, because when we implement, getting the data and creating a data model is one of the critical part of a digital twin. So we need to find the variations, how it responds, then only we can create a model. So I was wondering, is it only the software level? Are we trying to look from data provider, IoT platform, then coming to this platform? So I was just curious.
Just I will request other panelists to respond, but before that, operational digital twins may be more concerned about this IoT data, but at a planning level, you need a aggregated data. So once you have a federated digital twin and operational digital twins are connected or loosely coupled with the planning digital twins, so those digital twins will be providing aggregated data and good insights about the sector or about any specific problem. But how you want to respond?
Yeah, I think sir has made a point here, because this is a planning digital twin what we are talking about, right? So on the left side, whatever you see the data providers there, right? So whatever data is getting generated by the operational twins there, right? IoT ecosystem, what you have described there, that will be aggregated data will become a provider to this entire ecosystem. So whether the telco is giving the data or any other aggregator giving the data there, that will be coming as an input to the architecture there. So this is more from a planning perspective. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, it's partly answers my question, but the thing is, when we are talking, I understand like you're trying to take different things, but when we are talking of a digital twin, like let us say I give a digital twin for the utility network, water supply board. What he'll be looking at is where all things are deployed, how to control, how to take some action. So if it's aggregated data, again it's going through all these pipelines, there is no planning for the IoT platform, then there may be some discrepancies.
But what Kumud mentioned in the previous presentation, that if there is a turbidity in the water distribution network,
Yes.
how many people are affected and who are those they are affected? So that will be provided using this Sangam platform. But the effectiveness or the operational part of that water distribution network will be taken care of by the operational digital twin of that respective organization, not by the planning tool. But it is helping you to orchestrate or to connect with the other digital twins and do plan some interventions. From that perspective, this will be helping.
So madam, it is more from a cross-sectoral impact which is going to create it. Yeah, that is
right.
the objective. Yeah.
Yes, I get it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hello, I am Manjesh from IIT Bombay. My question is more about a clarification about this architecture. As I see, the impression I'm getting is this looks like a comprehensive architecture which is trying to incorporate the data from all the use cases at one point. Are we planning to segregate this, or we are trying to bring everything together? Like for example, I see transport, data, healthcare, everything put together is. Is there a separate architecture for each transport, disaster separately, or we are looking at one common
I think Manju, it
answer
is
the
about
question
the
there.
ontology and graph. It is not about the data.
Yeah, number one, it is not about the data. We are talking about the ontology and graph. And even at ontology and graph, one is going to be the modular aspect, so that we can easily and quickly serve the user there, right? So the knowledge graph and ontology will be the domain specific, and then there will be a cross-sectoral knowledge graph as well, so that without any delay we can respond to the queries there. Because there is an interdependency between the use cases, right? If we are talking about transport, right? Transport is dependent on the environment data or environment insight or the knowledge, right? So you need the cross correlation between the different domains as well, and that is the very basic purpose of this national code as well. So one will be the sectoral, there will be, every sector will have its own architecture there. And this is an overarching architecture we are talking about, where we are trying to correlate between the domains. Does it answer your question? Yeah.
Yeah. So we have exceeded the time, and now it is time to conclude this panel discussion. Yeah, one question.
Yeah, so just a last, like observation. I'm Shivaji from IT Hyderabad. As I see, like a use cases based, like some sectors are very real-time data based, like a dependent, like disaster management, for instance, if you see. Okay, so will there be a layer added, for that kind of, like a scenarios in this architecture? That's my point.
Yeah, there will be a layer to incorporate the real-time, the feed as well to the architecture. Yeah, we will be putting that. That's a very input. Yeah.
So we will finalize this architecture. You can give your suggestions and we can discuss during break time as well, and in the separate sessions, breakout session also. So we will be discussing. This was presented, and we will incorporate suggestions. So thank you very much. I will thank you, the panelists, for this discussion and for good comments and suggestions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, all the panelists and the audience, for participating actively in the panel discussion. We can have a little more discussion in the breakout sessions. So I will just brief you once again about the schedule before we start for the day with the breakout sessions. So we will be having 5 breakout sessions in different rooms. So all of you are requested that after this panel discussion, you can have tea and proceed to the particular halls. The details of the halls are there outside also, and also you can find it in the handbook which has been shared. And 2 more points to make. Today evening we will be having a mid-plenary in which the Chief Secretary of Telangana State Government, Shri Jayesh Ranjan, will be coming here. So I request you all to be present for the mid-plenary at 4 o'clock in the evening. And then tomorrow we will be having a session on the outcomes of the networking events, right? So in that, that will be graced by Shri Neeraj Verma, who is Additional Secretary Telecom. He will be coming from Delhi for gracing that session. Also in that session, we will be releasing an output document based upon the various discussions on all the sectors which we have had in all these 4 events. So we will be sharing the draft output document by tonight on SharePoint. I hope everybody has received the Microsoft Teams account details. So the document will not be final when it is released. It is a draft document which is open for comments from all the participants. So that we will open the document for a week or so, and then after receiving all your comments, that the final document will be released in a week. So tomorrow we will be releasing the draft document. So I request you all to kindly give inputs for that, and we need to work in the breakout sessions for that finalization of that document. And one last point is about the living list. When we had started this initiative, we had mentioned about a living list of use cases which we will be releasing. So we will be sharing a document on the WhatsApp group and on the Microsoft Teams, in which all of you can add the use cases to the living list. That will be an open document for all to add the use cases which have not been discussed in this, but you see potential in them and can be discussed in the future. Those will also be a part of the living list, so that we continue this journey and work on those use cases as well. So those will be captured in the living list, which will be evolving, and we will keep adding use cases to that particular document as well. So that is all for the opening plenary. Thank you all for being a part of this plenary. I request you all please proceed for tea outside. Thank you. I'm sorry. I think the tea is on the right side. So this side. Thank you.